Good morning, Mountain Sky Conference. My name is Michael Smith. I'm the Superintendent of Congregational and Community Vitality, and this is Vital Conversations. I'm really glad to have Annie Arnoldy, who is the Superintendent of Leadership Development and the Director of Connectional Ministries for the Mountain Sky Conference, to be sort of co-hosting our Vital Conversation today. We are newbies when it comes to Facebook Live. We have never done it before. So we thought, why not do a teaching on Facebook Live, especially when we are learning all at the same time? How fun is that? So every Wednesday, what we do at 11:30 Mountain Time is we're talking about different things to help us in this season of COVID-19, different areas of ministry that we're trying to resource each other in. So we've had some great speakers already, some other great ones lined up for the next couple weeks. So I encourage you to keep tuning in for our Vital Conversation series. Today's guest is Danny Colella, and he is a Facebook Live expert. He is a great resource for us. So we want to welcome him to help us learn how to do Facebook Live. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. So I'm excited to be here today. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Annie. And really, thank you to the whole Mountain Sky Conference for allowing me to be here and to add a little value. Today, my goal... Oh, can we hear you? Am I on mute? You hear me, Michael, right?
I gotcha.
Cool.
Yep.
Today, I hope to add some immense value. I hope to get you from a state of feeling like you can't accomplish this to giving you some tools, some knowledge, and some skills to kind of move past that fear stage into the I want to do stage. And I do want to encourage you that this is a fully interactive presentation today. So as we see, we already have comments coming in. Copyright issues we need to know. Stephanie says, me too. Tammy Canada says, yay, how great is this? I do want you to know that as you comment, I'll do my best to engage with it live. And if I can't engage with it live, I will engage with it in the replay and I will comment and respond back to you. But it looks like we're up to 38 people, which is a really good amount of people right now. And I think, again, post your questions below. Let me know what you're thinking. But we're going to do a very 10,000-foot view of why you would use Facebook Live, why it matters, and how you can actually show up professionally from day one. And as we see, we have Annie's having just a little bit of sound tech issues, which is okay. That's the beauty of live video. Encourage her. This reminds us all that we're human and that mistakes are a part of growth. I got to say, for the first 3 years that I did live video, it was a mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, and I just couldn't get things done. So, Annie, you can pop out and pop back in if you want to figure out how to get the audio to work. But we're going to go right into comment today. Let me get our thing set up here. Okay. All right. So we have our presentation today. And here, we'll leave Annie out until she gets her audio back. All right, so again, today we're going to talk about Facebook Live, how to use it, and why it matters. So, Michael, from a comfort level, how much does Facebook scare you?
Yeah, a lot. Big scare. Big scare.
And it's a fear of the unknown, right? It's the fear of what can go wrong. How will I look? I really just love that Annie had a little bit of audio issues because I want to encourage you. That's a human thing. And if you're in the audience, aren't you giving her a fair amount of grace? Yes, you are, because it's live video and that's how we work it. So we have Emily Fleming said, we've been using Facebook Live for worship for weeks and I would love to show improvements. Will you please show us how you showed the comments on the screen? That was cool. This is a program that we're using, Emily. It's called StreamYard. We'll talk about it as we get deeper into this training to help up your professionalism and show up a little better than other people. And I wonder if we got Annie back yet. No, we'll check it out. All right. So Facebook Live, how to use it and why it matters. So first, let's talk about me, just so you know who I am. I'm a family-first human being who puts purpose before money. I launched this career to be valuable to other human beings, to help them get what they want. because I believe the greatest gift that you can give somebody is to believe in them before they believe in themselves. And I'm saying right now to all of you who are fear-filled, I believe in you. You can do this. It's bumpy. You'll make mistakes. And at the end of the day, you'll grow and you'll become better. And one of my favorite sayings is the grass is always greener on the other side until you get there. And then the grass is greener on the other side. Just something to remember. What do I do? So I'm a Facebook Live marketing consultant. I'm a professional personality that helps businesses and brands. I'm a professional interviewer for businesses and brands. I'm a social media strategist. I like to say I have a PhD in video and design. I'm a content marketer. I'll teach you how to put more content in more places. And I'm a branding consultant. And this is something important to say. Most of you may know me from the amazing work that I get to do as a consultant with Free Spiritual Community. They're in your network. Ryan Canaday, Tammy Canaday, shout out. They got the vision September of last year and brought me on board as a consultant to start to help them build their brand on social with video. And it's been fun ever since. So let's check in on the comments real quick. Emily, thanks for all your interaction today. How to show faces on the side. I was thinking of switching to Zoom for this capability. Okay, I can follow up with that. JR, are you using Facebook to produce this or Zoom? JR, I'm using a platform called StreamYard.com to do this. Yep, thank you, Emily, for coming to my side. But let's dive into content today. Annie, I'm going to see if we can bring you back. Possibly. Nope, not yet. So what's stopping you from going to the Facebook Live world? What's stopping you from showing up consistently and starting to talk to your people? Well, this is it. Good news is you all have the exact same thing in common, no matter where you're at on the scale. I still have a fear of messing up and making mistakes, and I've been doing this for 5 years. So I want to validate your fear. I want to, coddle it a little, and then I just want to smash it. Okay? Because we're going to take you through the fear of how will I show up professionally? We're going to take you to the fear of what am I going to talk about? We're going to take you through the fear of, should I be doing this anyway because I see other people doing it better and I don't want to show up that way. So we're going to run through all this fear today, and I'm going to give you knowledge and expertise to get you through this point. And we're running a lot of things today. So Annie's back. She's back.
I'm back. See, this is one of our things. We're getting the hang of this.
And you're using an iPad, which could be having some small issues, but this isn't normal. So it's okay. We can do testing to kind of figure that out. There's ways to go live so that you're not public on a business Facebook page. There's way to do a lot of this testing to kind of work out those problems, because the one thing you need to know is tech is tech. It's going to have issues. Live video is live video. Things are going to mess up. You got to roll with it. There's no way to be perfect. It just is what it is.
I'm feeling better, Danny. I'm letting go of my fears, friend.
It's just going away. It's washing away.
Let's do this.
All right. So something you should know. I'm going to spend a little bit of time explaining why Facebook, why live video. I'm going to get you up to speed on what I know and help you kind of understand why this is one of the better platforms you can be using to engage your current congregation or newcomers. And it's one of the better platforms you can be using from a just visual standpoint and a user standpoint. But what I want you to know is January 11th of 2018, which seems like a long time ago, but nothing has changed drastically. Zuckerberg made a little announcement that he was going to start to prioritize content from friends, families, and groups. Meaning he was saying that business pages were going to start to be shown less in the news feed. So why would he make that decision? Well, he made that decision because business pages were doing a really bad job at building engagement and building community. Business pages were doing a really good job at posting 4 times a week of stuff that they want to see that wasn't getting their audience to engage, that wasn't getting their audience to say, hey, me too, or hey, I feel that way. They were just gumming up the news feed with information that was really not doing anything. And he recognized that. So he started to prioritize friends, families, and groups and kind of kick these business pages down, especially the ones that weren't working on engagement. Why is that important? Because live video is an engagement just blaster. It will help you with engagement. You're talking to me today. You're talking to a human being. When you want to comment or say something, I'll be able to say something to you back. If this were a produced piece of content, you'd be sitting there going, well, yeah, cool. Maybe you're fast forwarding, maybe you're leaving, but you're not doing anything on the platform. Annie must have staged her problems, Ma. And I love these comments. Please keep them coming. What is your secret to remaining upbeat when you post it after not seeing someone in the crowd? Okay, these are all good. Is it blurry to others? Priscilla, that could be your personal connection. JR, to make money. It's not blurry. Thank you. Okay, cool. And we'll keep engaging with your comments as they come. Okay. All right. So here's some statistics you should probably know. This is the one question that I get asked more than ever. Where should we be? Where should we be showing up? Where are our people? This is some definitive information that you should know. The reason, I'm a business owner and I stake my flag in Facebook because it's the biggest pond that you could possibly be fishing in. Facebook has 2.4 billion monthly users. That's 2.4 billion people that log in every month. Lots of people will say, well, what about Instagram? What about Instagram? I need to be on Instagram. Well, what you need to know is it is more than half the size less. So Instagram only has 1 billion monthly users. So Facebook is twice the size from a pool that you could be fishing in than Instagram, which is a reason that I stake my flag on Facebook. If I want to catch some fish or I want to attract people to my business or brand or my church, I'm going to fish in the biggest pond. I want to be able to cast the biggest net to people that need what we have to offer, to have them come to us. YouTube is another really big one at 1.9 billion. However, it's not necessarily a social network. It's somewhere where people go to learn, to engage with content. That's somewhere where you're not going to see as many comments or interactions as you will on Facebook. So remember, we're trying to engage our community, especially right now. Kamal, I have to leave soon because I have another Zoom meeting. I have at 12, but I'd like an answer to my question about the mirror image problem. iPhone seems to have an ability to flip an image, but my couple-year-old Android doesn't seem to have a means to flip. Is there any way on Facebook that you can do it? No, there is not. There is not. That is a setting built into an iPhone that you can do, but it is not available on Android phones. So it's something Facebook on Apple and Facebook on Android are totally different interfaces. JR, good questions. What about the younger audience on Instagram? So there is a younger audience on Instagram. There's no doubt about that. But the one thing that I'm going to get you out of is analysis paralysis. You need to show up in one place consistently. And when you show up in one place consistently and you get that under control, that's a good time to focus on another category. It will overwhelm you to the hills and back if you feel like you need to be an expert on Facebook and Instagram by March, by like August of this year. You got to focus on one platform. Does that make sense, Michael?
It absolutely does. Thanks, Danny. Appreciate that. And I hear what everyone's saying with these comments. Great comments. Keep them coming. I'd be curious too, Danny, as you follow up whenever you need to, of when you said learning how to use one thing, how do these things cross-reference each other? So, like you said, I've got a 2.4 billion potential or a 1 billion, but is there a way to take what I know how to do really well in Facebook Live and put it on the gram, as the kids are saying these days?
I love it. So Instagram is the only platform that doesn't play well with all the other platforms.
Okay.
For some reason. So for instance, we'll talk about multi-streaming in a minute. Through the program you see me using today, we could be live on my Facebook business page, my Facebook group, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch all at one time. However, Instagram has not opened up what's called an API or a communication method for any third-party apps to really come into Instagram. So to win on Instagram, you're going to need your phone, and you're going to need to do posts on Instagram as well. Now, Instagram will let you post from Instagram to Facebook, but they don't do it backwards, you noticed. They don't let you post from Facebook to Instagram. So Instagram's one of the only where if you want to win on that, you got to have a strategy, and you got to be using your phone, and you got to be consistently doing. On these other platforms, we can show up at other platforms at the same time. So we can be live on a Facebook page and YouTube at the exact same time and connect with those two audiences and have all those comments come in one area so we can engage and interact. How's everything sitting with you, Annie?
It's good. I'm just checking in on the comments. And here's a question that maybe you'll get to. I keep hearing people now talk about Zooms going live to Facebook. Kind of curious about that.
So I have a strong opinion about that. I think it's a waste of money to use Zoom to go live. There are no added features. There are no benefits. You can't engage with comments. My opinion is I think Zoom is, I have a whole video where I talk about the 3 main reasons you shouldn't use Zoom to go live, because it's very bare bones. It costs about $50 a month to just be able to go live. When a program like this costs $20 a month, you can accomplish the same thing with tools that are going to help you engage your audience. So I think, and it's my opinion, that Zoom is sort of a waste of money when it comes to going live, because you just don't have control. Make sense, Michael?
I'm with you.
Okay. Yeah, Danny, you please be the comment moderator and just interrupt me when comments come up, but we're going to keep rolling.
Okay, that sounds good. But when you come back, say something about how people can go live on Facebook. Do they need a platform if they want to do intro, outro slides, or kind of fancy it up a little bit?
You need a platform to add a lot of the stuff that you're seeing today. So the Facebook native app will allow you to change filters. It doesn't allow you to bring guests anymore. From the computer, you have a little bit more flexibility, but nothing like you're seeing here. Nothing to create a visual experience that's a video content that can be engaged with your community after the fact. Because we're essentially producing a video today. We don't actually have to go to editing after, because we're throwing things on screen. We're changing camera angles. We're doing that production work as we move through. But no, none of the native apps, so the Facebook phone or the computer, will allow you to do any of this. You're going to need third-party software that we will talk about to help you get a lot of this stuff done. If you guys got to see us play that video, play inline videos, things like that, music, and then bring different guests in and different platforms to talk about. All right. I'm using a Samsung mobile to Facebook Live or worship gatherings, which is going well. I'm trying to find a way to schedule the live stream on Facebook like an event, and then use my mobile phone to stream the video, but I'm stuck on how to do this. You cannot do that from your mobile. So in order to schedule an event, you can do it from a computer with the Facebook native Facebook.com streaming platform, or you can do it through programs like this, which we'll talk about, which are StreamYard, Ecamm Live, Restream.io. There's a list of probably 50 streaming platforms that you can use that will afford you the ability to schedule it a week in advance. For instance, we scheduled this broadcast on Monday and knew that we were going to go live on Wednesday. And you can do that schedule up to 7 days in advance. So you can schedule an event, a Facebook Live event, up to 7 days in advance. We're going to run through this stuff because I do want to be conscious of your time and not, but I do want you to know this stuff. So this is social media use by generation. Obviously, millennials, I'm on that border there. So hoo-ha, we use social media a lot. Gen Xers use it a lot, and still boomers are using this. And boomers are on social media. They're on Facebook, less on Instagram. Gen Xs are also showing up on Facebook. Millennials do use Instagram a lot, but again, they're on Facebook as well. They're just not as worried about Facebook, but they will go to Facebook if they're engaged with a church or a community and they know stuff is happening there. Does that make sense? Olga, can I watch this again later? Yes, you can. Thanks for the questions, guys. These are going well. And I'm going to roll past this because we've talked enough about key demographics, but if you guys want this slide, I can get it to Michael, and you can see exactly from Facebook and Instagram who the key demographics are. What I want to highlight is 18 to 29 and 30 to 49 on Facebook, which is ideally your consistent churchgoers that are showing up. They're there, and they're on Facebook. All right, and this is one I love, right? Because we're doing video today. Video is king on all social media. Everybody says that they love video. And why is video important? Because it's the most transparent way to build a relationship with somebody. A very good Instagram image or a very good profile image, of Michael in a Santa outfit isn't as endearing as Michael in a Santa outfit singing in video, Merry Christmas. That's a whole different experience. We'll count on that this year, Michael.
Yep, done it. Been done. Do it again.
But video is really most transparent. And why is that important to you as a community? Because you're building relationships with people who might not want to step through the door of your place. Okay. They might not be there yet. And how are you going to get them to the point where they feel like they trust you, that they connect with you, that they like what you talk about, that they align with your thought pattern or your thought process? Because if they don't, there's nothing worse than having somebody come to church, have a bad experience, not because there's anything wrong with you, just because it didn't work for them, and then have them leave. Because you know what it creates? It creates that person that said, I tried church. It didn't work. I went and it didn't work. And you know what? They're not going to try another church for another year or plus until something happens in their life. So by using video, you're going to let them know, can I align with this pastor? Can I align with this message? Does this feel like somewhere that I can get connected? And if no's the answer, then you saved yourself and that human being a lot of time and energy. Am I connecting with anybody on that? It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially in this time, there's the potential to pick up a whole new set of people because of live video.
Yeah, the whole new set of people that align with you, that feel the same way you feel, that because I mean, anybody that kind of goes to church, they build a relationship with that pastor. The pastor is so important in the community because they're the one delivering the information. And if you just don't feel good about it, then you're going to leave and not come back. And it's a waste of everybody's time. Annie, have you seen any good comments come through?
Yeah, I'm just looking here, and one person's asking, a couple of people are asking about desktops versus mobile devices, anything there. And then also members who have computers or don't. So is this worth it for 10 or 12 people? Kind of wanting to know what sort of equipment people need to be able to join the experience.
Cool. So you have to schedule or produce an event on desktop, i.e. you can't schedule on desktop and go live with mobile. You can't fully produce an event on desktop, and you can't produce an event on mobile at all. I hope I'm reading that question right, John. We have a quarter of our members that even have computers. Is it worth it for 10 or 12 people? So every church, correct me if I'm wrong, every church is interested in kind of refilling, right? We want new people to come in. We want to attract new people because we don't want everybody in our church to age out. And then what are we left with? What you have to understand is we have a whole generation of people that are looking to connect online. And how are you going to engage with them? How are you going to help them make a decision whether they should make a church decision in your direction unless you're showing up on social media? So I get that, and I get that a lot. But my kind of polite, response is, if you're not responding to a younger audience, then you're dying. And you're not refilling, and you're not making it this place where people feel like they can come in. If you want your whole congregation to be 50 or 60 and above, then that's your thing. But I'm saying you need to probably engage some new people, and you need to create space for them to get connected. That's not too harsh the way I said that, is that?
What's the reality, really?
It's the reality. Yeah. The one thing I like to say is, in order to reach people no one is reaching, you have to do things no one is doing. So if you want to reach these people out there that need God in their life, you got to start doing things out of the ordinary, because it's becoming a backward society. COVID-19 is going to make this even more of a backward society. People that were already introverts are going to be more introverted, and you're not going to be able to show up on their mobile phone to give them that, okay, I feel like I could fit in there. Or in my darkest time, this showed up on my feed because God put it there. And now I can go in and show up at church. So you got to put the effort out. Mountain Sky, John A. submitted this question. So you have to schedule. Okay, we got that one, I think. Some of my people don't want to use Facebook. Is there a benefit to using both Zoom and Facebook simultaneously? You can't do Zoom and Facebook simultaneously. So no, there is no benefit. Zoom is a good, I don't hate Zoom. I use Zoom. Zoom is a good sort of core group engagement thing, right? Like we have some really engaged people. We want to connect with them. We want to go deeper. What the difference between Zoom and Facebook Live is Facebook Live is that same thing, but it's also a big fishing net to attract new people to you. Because after this live today, this stays there forever. And somebody can watch this training next year. So not the case. Go live pre-scheduled on mobile. Why not use Facebook Premiere to go live with pre-recorded videos? Then you can comment live just as others do. Because there's a huge difference between the engagement that happens on live videos and the engagement that happens on premiered videos. It's a huge difference. You're talking 60 to 70% less engagement on a premiere video than on a real actual Facebook Live. If this was a premiere, Emily, you would not have commented this many times. You would not have commented this many times if we filmed this and premiered this. You would have asked one question, nobody would have responded to it, and you wouldn't have been motivated to ask another question. Does that make sense? It's the fact that I can say that, yeah. You gonna say something, Michael?
Yeah, I think that these are great comments. These are great questions. We are really kind of digging down into some of the heart of what's all behind this too. And so I know there's probably a lot of pastors that are watching this right now, and they're trying to figure out how to do what they've done and to get it out to their audience, to their congregants, as well as, folks that are starting to engage in this and trying to figure out where a lot of us don't have training in sort of production materials or video or things like that, trying to figure out what is it within the rhythm of the pastor's life, like you said, on the pre-recorded versus live thing, and I guess that's why we're talking about live today, because pre-recorded probably might feel safer to us because we could do it, we can edit it, we can know what it is, and then we can send it out. But we're also, from what I'm hearing you saying, missing that engagement opportunity with live. So I think this is great conversation. But for now, I want to lean into that live because I understand the benefit of the pre-recorded stuff, but you're saying we're getting some good engagement with this. I love that people are talking and asking questions, making comments. Keep that up, folks. Let's keep doing this. Lean more and talk more about the pre-recorded versus live stuff.
I love that. And then we're at that slide. It's good timing. So there were some big studies done by a company called Agora Pulse that took some pretty prevalent pages and took the interaction that they got with pre-recorded video versus live video. So they uploaded content. And I do want to validate, if you're just getting started and pre-recorded works for you, that's a start. If you don't have video right now, that is a start. I'm okay with you progressing through what you need to progress through to get done what you need to get done. But I do want you moving toward a direction of starting to embrace live video. I see a lot of churches using pre-recorded video right now. It's just not getting the engagement. So this is what this company found. So they combined both pages, and what they really found was reactions were 240% higher when it was live. Comments were 1,389% higher, and shares were 425.27% higher. Now, why is that important? Well, this is all engagement. This is engaging your community. And how the Facebook algorithm works is when they see these things happen, when they see all these comments, when they see these reactions and these shares, Facebook essentially will start showing this to more people who are similar to the people in this group that are watching. So because all of you are so amazing at commenting right now and engaging with us, there is a better chance that somebody in church community that doesn't have access to this page or this training will see this now because you guys engage with it. In essence, Facebook will run a Facebook ad for free because they're like, hey, this is good content. Wow, this is great content. You're engaging your community. Because here's a little truth bomb that people don't know. Facebook cares about the time that you spend on this platform. They do. They know that if you scroll all day and you never stop and you never comment, they know, they've done studies, and they know that your happiness level drops. Okay? That's your challenge, churches, is you have people who aren't connecting. You have people that are on social media every day, and because they don't have anybody to connect with, their happiness is dropping just by being there. This leads to depression. This leads to a lot of other things. So when we do live, we're creating things people can be a part of. They can be a part of community. They can get their questions answered. They can learn from each other. There's an amazing Facebook commercial that shows basset hounds. This guy goes to a group of dogs, and there's no basset hounds there. So he goes to Facebook. He finds a basset hound group. Next thing you know, he's surrounded by 40 other owners of basset hounds, and he's in heaven because you know what? He found his tribe. He found his people. He found his connection. And we can't deny the fact that Facebook and social media is a big part of our connection in life now. You can't deny it. That's why 2.4 billion people are showing up every month. This is their community. This is their social life.
No, I think that's a great point. Here's a question, because we've experienced this a little bit on other platforms. What about the security, and what about when you go live? Can anybody in the world make comments? And what if you start to get those comments that are just ugly, that you don't want?
Yeah, the trolls, right? So that's a big myth. That's a big myth. When you get big enough to the point that you have people that want to troll you, you've already made it. You'll push those people off. I've been working professionally with individuals and large businesses for about 3 years now. They're all afraid of that, and it's never happened. I work with some treatment programs that people get court ordered to go there, and they have to leave because they don't follow the rules. Those people could show up and say all kinds of nasty stuff, but they don't. But so as soon as that happens, you can ban those people, you can get rid of those people. But I can say wholeheartedly with 1,000% confidence, it doesn't happen ever, pretty much. There's like a 1% chance. When you're big enough and people can hate on you, then you've made it and you're not going to worry about that anyway. But when you're just getting started, it's not going to happen. Eric, is there a way someone can watch a Facebook Live video without a Facebook account? For example, just post a link or embed on our homepage. Yes, Eric, but not live. So after the fact. So we'll talk about repurposing in a minute, but after today's live, we get this full video, and we can send this video to YouTube. We can send this video to our webpage. This video can now be viewed on multiple platforms, but live, people can only view it if they're on Facebook and have a Facebook account. As you can see, everybody's name is showing up here. So I'm going to keep rolling. How much time do I have, by the way, Michael?
We try and end at 12:30.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Any other good questions, Annie?
I keep going and I'll kind of scroll.
Oh, we got that one. Yeah, let me know if anything good comes up. All right, so I want to show you. I'm going to skip this slide and I'm going to go straight to the next slide. Again, if you're just joining live, we're doing Facebook Live training today. Ask your questions in the comments. We're trying to engage with as many as we can. But I want to show you these statistics right here. These statistics are from the community that I'm a consultant for, which is Free Spiritual Community. Ryan gave me the green light to share some back-end info. This is what we've accomplished in 28 days at Free. I want to focus on the top left number, 38.3K minutes viewed. This is a statistic that Facebook tracks very closely. It used to be that views were important, but then Facebook thought, well, it's really easy for somebody to stop for 3 seconds and view it, but are they really that engaged with it? Minutes viewed is how many full minutes did people spend watching the content. So for all of you, we're up to 66 live viewers. For all of you that are adding these minutes, this is showing Facebook that Mountain Sky Conference is creating some content that's valuable. Wow, people are spending minutes of their time to watch this. And you know what? You're better than a lot of other Facebook pages or church Facebook pages are doing right now just by doing this today. But at Free, just using live video, we go live every Saturday. What are the spikes? What day of the week? Saturdays. That's when we get our huge, up in the 7,000 minutes viewed. We get our huge growth and our huge interaction. And I show you this because I want you to know the power of live video and engaging your audience, the power of what we're doing today. So
here's a good question. I want to see how you would address this. Somebody asked in the chat, what do you do on the fly if you're live and you have sound issues or technical difficulties? How do you adjust for that on this platform?
You end the live and you delete it. And again, that doesn't happen a lot, but you should be doing a lot of testing. For instance, Annie, you found that problem. You found that audio problem. You know it's there. There are ways that you can test on the live platform. And I don't have a slide on me today, but it's called Only Me. So Annie, the next time you were going to go live and you wanted to test this, you can actually use your personal account. Now, everybody knows that personal account has public, friends. We all know those, right? Who do we want our information to go to? Do we want our posts to be seen by the public? Do we want it to be seen by friends? There's one that's down there a little lower that people don't see that says Only Me. And that means you can go live to your personal page. Only you can see it. Nobody gets notified. Nobody can see it. And you can start to work these problems out using your personal page as a testing tool. And then when you're done with it, you just delete it, but nobody has the ability to actually see it or engage with it. And then, Annie, you can start to work out these sound issues. There is testing involved when you want to show up professionally. You do got to test equipment. You do got to test streams. You know, if you just show up and start having issues, it is going to make you look a little less professional, like you don't have it together. But in the small percentage of the time that that happens, you would just delete it. So it'd be gone forever. You'd figure it out and then go again. And again, your audience will give you grace for live video. They will give you grace.
That's awesome. Along the same lines, a question was asked, what do we need to get started?
I love that. So all you really need to get started is your mobile phone. This is one of the most powerful tools to get started, especially right now during coronavirus. I've seen some videos with pastors in their living room with a cell phone going, streaming live content, talking, get interacted with like crazy. People don't need high production right now. People need connection. So this is one of the first devices that I encourage most people to get started with. And I have on my website at dannycolella.com, I have a free mobile live starter kit that goes through everything you need to know how to use your mobile phone to actually go live, to running a speed test, to testing your connection, to turning your phone in airplane mode, right? So the only thing that can interrupt a live video is if you get a phone call. So if we're in Wi-Fi, we want to turn our phone into airplane mode and connect to our Wi-Fi, and then we know we can do an uninterrupted live stream. So there's these little things that you'll make mistakes, but if you download the starter kit, you'll be able to grab your mobile phone and start streaming professionally from day one. Another small recommendation is a tripod, a phone holder, and a light. And if you don't have a light, face a window so that you have good lighting on your face. And we don't want your phone looking up your nose. Bring it to eye level or higher and look up at it, okay? Those are some really good starter tricks to kind of get rolling. But your phone is your best tool that you have right now, especially if you've never gone live. Is that a good answer to your question?
It's awesome.
Okay.
I appreciate what you said too about, you said that people will give us grace. And I found too that, you know, when we were doing sort of our normal Sunday worship services, you know, if a microphone didn't work, you know, what do we do in those moments, right? We adjust and people give grace. Now, you know, we hope that that's more the exception than the rule, right?
Right.
So, yeah, but that's why I think some of that is, how do we not let some of those fears rise up of, you know, does it have to be perfect? Does it have to look like it's the most highly produced? We want good quality, but we don't want to let, how do we overcome that fear, right? That's what, great questions, great comments. Keep them coming, folks.
Totally. And there's a big differentiator. So I do professional live video. If I go too high into the professional of live and I start bringing in double camera angles, I've noticed it affects live viewership because people aren't sure that it's live. Then it starts to feel produced now, and they don't interact like they would if it were just a one-shot live shot. So yes, take the pressure off yourself. If you're just joining us live and you didn't get to see the intro where Annie had problems, well, good news, that was God showing up to remind you that it's okay to have problems. Does it make you think any less of Annie? Does it make you have a different opinion of Annie? The answer to that question is no. She just had some tech issues. You can laugh about it later, and actually it'll create more engagement. Somebody will be like, oh my gosh, I ran into that too. It reminds people that there's human beings out there, and they're going to have issues too. It makes Annie more relatable. Like, oh my gosh, I have that same problem. So I love that you had those audio issues. That was important. And I know your husband, and I know he's like, man, I wish that wouldn't have happened, but he didn't have control. He was in control. All right, we must have missed what he said. I just know it works that way. Last I checked a few weeks ago. People can view. I don't think people can view without a live Facebook account. Now they can view replays, but they can't view lives. So they can hop in, like if you share a Facebook link to LinkedIn, they can watch a replay, but they're not going to get the live notification. They're not going to be able to engage with lives. All right. The above question is from Janet Mulroy. I thought about doing live stream on off-peak days and hours. Is that a benefit? I've only done one live stream on a Sunday at 11 a.m. and had problems with having enough bandwidth to keep the video consistent. My advice to you is to just get started. I don't care what time you go live. I don't care what day of the week you go live. I don't care when, because actually most of the time the biggest view count. For instance, we end live videos at free with like 1,000 or 1,200 views. Over the course of the next 7 days, it gets up into 3,000 or 4,000. The replay audience is a really big audience. So live isn't necessarily your key factor in the beginning. And I don't want you thinking in the beginning, oh my gosh, I went live and I had 0 people or I had 1 people. I must be doing this wrong. You have to get started. You have to get started and be consistent to really get favor into the algorithm. If you're not aware of what the Facebook algorithm is, it's like the most powerful Big Brother thing ever. If you're not playing their game and you're not playing their rules, you're not showing up on their feed. End of story. And Facebook loves, I always lose people with this word, but Facebook loves episodic content. They love people that go live at the same time every week. And after 3 to 6 months of that, all of a sudden you start to see your live audience go up, your views go up. It's because finally they're like, okay, you're showing up consistently. You're favoring our algorithm and what we want you to do, and you're getting engagement. We're going to show you to a little bit more people. All right. Am I losing anybody? I feel like I'm talking a lot.
Keep going.
This is good.
Okay, good. All right. So let's talk about repurposing video. This is what other people don't know. Every live you do anywhere, whether it's on your mobile phone, the Facebook native app, this streaming platform, any live you do anywhere, you get the raw copy of that video, the full raw copy. And you can repurpose that to YouTube, to cut down a 60-second clip to go on Instagram, to cut down a 3-minute chunk of the best stuff that you said and put that on LinkedIn, or post it to Facebook 3 months later. Here's a hot tip. Remember that training Danny did back in April? Here's a hot tip to remember. And you can take that video content and repurpose it into all kinds of different platforms. Video content can even be transcribed into blog. Obviously, I want to take this video and turn it into a blog because I want to work with churches. And it says I'm saying the word Facebook Live 65 times, and I'm saying the word church. This can be blog content from my website as well. And it can even be turned into an audio podcast. So what we forget is that just because we go live on Facebook doesn't mean it stays on Facebook. It can go almost anywhere. I'm assuming you guys will probably put this on YouTube so that people on YouTube can engage with this after the fact.
Great idea.
So repurposing is something that most people miss the bus on. Mm-hmm. So I love to talk about this. We've talked about this in depth, but brand visibility. You want to be seen more. You want to be seen more by your current congregation, and you want to be seen more by newcomers who are friends, who are right on the bubble. You're going to reach your existing people faster. We're reaching so many people on this Facebook page today that might not have been engaged over the past year, but are today because they know this is valuable. They know this is content they want to hear, and they're here to learn from this. When I say showcase your strengths on your business, brand, or passion in a real unique way, what I know about each one of your congregations is you all operate differently with different strengths that you can play to. Okay? Some of you are an older church. Some of you are a younger church. Some of you embrace this video thing. Whatever it is, play to your strengths. If you are an older church, then go visit some nursing homes when we're out of COVID-19 and do some really interesting things at nursing homes. If, be whatever, Free Spiritual Community. Ryan's strength is he's a recovering addict. He dealt with addiction. He's gone through addiction. We use that as a stomping ground to start to connect with other people who are interested in finding God and might have addiction in their past. Don't be afraid to start talking to the people that you want to walk through your door. Now, I know church is accepting anybody. I get that. But let's talk to the people that we want coming through. And I mean that in the nicest way possible, because I have a marketing hat that I put on. But if there's somebody you don't want in your church, don't market to them. Okay? If there's somebody you don't want there, don't market to them. And I get that we want everybody to come, but let's just say there's a certain subset that just isn't going to fit in our church, and we're going to have a hard time getting them connected. Let's not market to them. Does that make sense? I also hope I said that in a very PC way. Should we be boosting our posts? Facebook often offers $5 of credit to boost the post. You should be boosting your post. You should be having a marketing strategy with Facebook ads. Don't do it off the bat. Again, baby steps. You got to walk before you crawl. Don't overwhelm yourself. Consistent live every week on your video. And when you got 3 months of that, then let's think about adding something else. How do we do the reminder for live event on Facebook? JR, through streaming platforms like StreamYard, Ecamm Live, if you guys have Macs. vMix is a popular one. BeLive.tv. Scheduling events is much easier with software. How do you turn videos into blog content? Essentially, I use a girl on Fiverr. If you guys don't know Fiverr, it's fiverr.com. I send her the video. She transcribes every word that was said in this entire video. She delivers me a Word document. I go to the blog section of my website. I copy and paste it in there, because we all know people rarely read blogs. They're there for SEO building capabilities. They're there for keyword searches. They're there to show up that you're posting information that's relevant to your audience. Copy and paste that in there, embed the video on YouTube, bam, now you have a blog. And you've done multiple things at once. Love the download and clipping tools. Yes. Can Facebook allow people to get on the video like Zoom does? Help me with that, Michael. What's that question asking? Can Facebook Live allow people to get on the video like Zoom does?
I think it means, can you send out like a link? So you send your congregation a Zoom link. Hey guys, get on this Sunday. What would the Facebook version of that be?
Yeah, so if you noticed, we scheduled a Facebook Live. You can only do it up to 7 days in advance, but 7 days in advance. But yes, you can schedule a live and then send that live link out. And I think you guys did that in an email blast, possibly. I don't know. But I gave you the Facebook link, and it's as simple as clicking share, copy link, because when you schedule that post, it goes on to the Facebook page. And then you can share that, and then, yes, people can click that link at the time and come on. Or they can just click get reminder on what you scheduled, and then they'll be notified as well. Women, not girl, please. Thank you. Settings, increase the number. Settings, quality, increase the number, work for me. Okay, cool. So let's keep rolling. Type of live videos, education, entertainment, engaging, client-focused testimonials. So this is people in your church that had experiences that feel, felt, found. I started to feel like I couldn't connect. I went to this place and I started to feel connected, and then I found my community. Let people who are really passionate start to tell story through videos. Expert interviews is something I use. You guys are doing this today. You're bringing an expert onto your Facebook page, interviewing an outside expert. More people are coming in. I did this training today. I'm going to share this to my business Facebook page. UMC gets more exposure. Does that make sense? And then event or group promotion is something that's big too. So we talked about this a little bit. There's live and then there's replay. When we stop this live video, it's done being live, but it stays on the page forever as something that somebody can watch. Replay typically is the largest amount of views. So we'll end this with a certain amount of views, and we'll probably double it in the replay, meaning people can watch this on their schedule when they're done dealing with life and they have time to actually engage with this. All right, Emily, after I publish my video, there is a Facebook editor option. Top right, 3 dots, where I used to download the videos, upload them to YouTube, and link to our church website. Now I clip them on Facebook and repost it there immediately. Then post only the sermons in the chain as stated. Yeah, so there is only live video offers you ability to trim a video. So if we wanted this video to start at the 4-minute mark, after the live, we could go in there and trim out the first 4 minutes and start it right at 4 minutes. That's particularly important when you see countdowns happening. Some people like to cut out countdowns. So they do a 10-minute countdown, and then when the video's over, they'll cut out that 10 minutes and go right to content. But replay is what I say king is. So you want to make video content that's valuable for a replay audience as well. I'm going to skip that. Skip that. All right, here we're going to talk about platforms, which I know has been a lot of the questions. I told you that you can go live from your mobile phone. I told you you can go live from the computer. Those are native Facebook apps. They're built into the platform. You can go live just with that without any expenses of other platforms. And then there's other live platforms. So for Windows, there's StreamYard, or for Mac, there's also StreamYard. You can use them on both Windows and Mac because this is a web-based platform. We're using Chrome to actually accomplish this live today. And it allows me the ability to be live on Facebook Live, YouTube, and LinkedIn. For instance, I'm live on my business page right now. So I'm live in your Facebook page, and I'm live on my business Facebook page at the exact same time. Other live platforms for streaming are like BeLive. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you.
God bless you.
God bless you. BeLive.tv is another one. And if you need a full list, all of these are on that Facebook Live starter kit, which I'm going to just put this here for right now. So you can go and download it. And it has all of this stuff there. And I know it's posted as Mountain Sky Conference. But that's somewhere you can go and get that live starter kit that has all this information, even equipment that you can get started with. Live platforms that are on your computer. So these are actually software, not web-based platforms. Software that's built on the computer. Ecamm for Mac is my baby. It's the most powerful, user-friendly tool that allows you to bring in extra DSLRs, video cameras, high-end recording devices, high-end soundboards directly into the feed to produce a live video that no one else is doing. If you've seen any of the free content that I do at Free Spiritual Community, every one of those lives is shot with Ecamm Live. So every transition you see, every background, we shoot on green screen. Ecamm Live is my #1 streaming tool. If you are a Mac user and you want to learn and be able to grow with the program, this is by far worth every penny I've ever spent on it. And I've tested a lot of softwares. And I know your next question is, what about if you're not on Mac? There's nothing as comparable to this at the same price point that works as good as this on a Windows computer. I'm sorry. So I recommend people use StreamYard for Windows streaming to get started. And then another program is, I'm going to go fast, it's called vMix. Now, this is like a $900 program that you have to purchase, and it's crazy complicated, and it's going to have a large learning curve. This is what high-power churches are using to create that movie-style experience from their computers, and you have to have a powerful computer to do this.
Now, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you need StreamYard and Ecamm Live?
No. No. So, instance, I'm just using StreamYard today. I use Ecamm Live for in-person when I want to shoot on high-end DSLRs. I use StreamYard when I want to do remote interviews, or I recommend StreamYard for people who are just getting started and want to have a little bit control of how things look and want to make it feel a little more polished, a little more professional, a little bit more on brand. Make sense?
Yep.
And this is one that most people don't know about. And it's for iPhones and any iOS device. But as you see here, you can turn up to 9 iPhones into wireless cameras. Okay, so if you could have something focused on the pastor, something focused from the side on the pastor, and that little iPad you see there is called a switcher. It's real easy for you to just change camera angles, put lower thirds, which is the names that come across the bottom and pop away, play video. It's called Switcher Studio. It's about $40 a month. But if you have nice iPhone sitting around and a nice iPad, because you can use a device that actually takes that expensive soundboard that you have and takes audio directly into your iPad and lets you have whatever is on stage, the audio is going to come into this device, so you're getting clear, crisp audio, and then that iPhone is acting as a camera angle for you to be getting that camera angle no matter where you set it. It takes Wi-Fi, so it's all communicating through a Wi-Fi. But if you got 3 iPhone 10s or 11s sitting around and an iPad, you can produce a pretty high quality show with just that right there. And I have a full detailed training on my page, Danny Colella Live. Already ordered my starter kit and getting on StreamYard as we speak. Awesome. Candidate, what's a DSLR? Great question. Thank you for taking my top knowledge and bringing it down. A DSLR is one of those Canon cameras, or those cameras where you can change lenses. They typically do pretty good video, and they work well for streaming. So I use 2 DSLR cameras, 2 snap and shoot cameras that don't actually record. I'm just using the camera and the lens to focus on my person, and then I'm using the streaming software to go stream. So you're not actually recording, so there's no recording limits because you're just using the lens and the camera.
All right, Danny, let's start to land this plane. What are some closing thoughts? Some
closing thoughts. Okay. Well, let's engage with a few questions that come on, but let me get out of this setting real quick.
I know one of our biggest concerns will be that probably 60 to 70% of our congregations are small, 50 in worship or less, and that our age range tends to be 60 years old and up. And I know that's not limiting, but how can we also focus what we're doing to really reach those we already have, as well as try to build new audiences?
That's a really good question. So depending on the age, it takes a little bit of training to get people engaged online. It takes a little bit of doing it. So what I love about you two today is you're doing live videos, showing people that it's possible, and you're doing it. So it might take helping your congregation figure out how to do live, why it matters to do live, starting up like Wednesday evening shows where you do something that's engaging that platform or that audience on a Wednesday night. And you're saying, hey, we want to connect with you during the week, and we know you can't always get out. So we want to set up this Wednesday night stream where we're going to go live and we're going to do X, Y, or Z with you on Wednesday night because you're part of our community and we want you to feel connected through the week. But it will take a little bit more training on showing them, this is what we're doing. This is how to do it. It might take you showing them, but engaging them throughout the week is not a bad idea. Making them feel connected. So one thing I do know, because I also serve the aging industry pretty in-depthly, is there's a lot of isolation in the aging world. There's a lot of people that don't have a lot of people in their life to connect with. Church on Sunday is their community. That's where they see people. That's where they see humans. That's where they connect. And what if you could create community for them during the week? What if you could create the environment where they feel connected when they're not at church? And that's sort of the challenge I'll put to you to figure out is how are you going to connect with them during the week and make them feel, especially now, that they're connected. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does make sense. We have one question that seems like a great closer. What's the one thing somebody could do today to get started?
The one thing you can do today is overcome your fear, sit down in your chair, and film a 2-minute live video just giving an update of what's going on in your life and checking in on your congregation. Just do it. You'll be surprised on how amazing it goes. I don't care how you hold your phone. Just make sure that it's in your hand, because the mobile phone trick is you don't want it any further than arm's distance or it's going to get echoey. So use your mobile phone and just get over the hump of doing. Get over the hump of getting something done. Just do it. That's the takeaway. I can't teach you anymore. I can't give you any more information. I can't send you to another training to say after you finish 3, 4, 5, or 6 of these, you'll be good. You're not going to be good until you just do it. And don't be afraid to use your mobile phone.
Question, Danny. Can Facebook Live make me better looking on camera? Asking for a friend.
We've already proven that it does right now.
Great. All right. Hey, Danny, as we wrap up, again, you shared some links and some posts. Tell us, where can we find some more information about this? And thank you to Charmaine and our communications team that will be sharing this later for some replay options for people. but how can we continue this conversation, get some more resources on this?
So I have a lot of resources at dannycolella.com. I have a training page, a Facebook Live training group where I do free trainings all the time. I just go through certain things. I go through these platforms in depth to take you step by step through the things that you need to learn. There's not a lot of training pages out there, so I would say join the group. It's a Facebook Live training. Start here, learn here, grow here. I can put the link in it after. Join the group. Be a part of our community. If you're really interested in growing, then let me over time give you resources to start to overcome those tech challenges, those questions that you have. And if you're a part of that group, you're going to get free training. That's just how it goes. And if you're a congregation that's red hot fire about this, but you can't seem to get it out, then I want to remind you that I do consult, and Free is a client of mine that I do help, that I do take all of this stress off of their back and just let them talk about what they love, why everything and all the strategy is happening on my side. So I wanted to throw that out there for the people that do want their hand held, that are like, this sounds great, but I'm never going to do it. I know I need to be doing it, but I don't want to try it. Can you help us? Yes, that's what I do professionally.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. Annie, do you want to give just a final word? Appreciate everyone being on here today. Comments and questions. We're going to continue these resourcing events. Thanks, Danny. Annie, why don't you give us a final word?
Yeah, so here's something. We're going to try to go live every Thursday to give an update to our conference. So this is a big experiment, and we'll see how it goes. We also want to try some additional podcasting and working with several of the members of our conference that are interested in this, so that we can bring more digital content and more live video content.
I love it. Cool.
Thanks so much. I can't believe it. I took 1 million pages of notes.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me on here today, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Danny. See you soon.